Exodus chapter 12, verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, which is, here. Here. Not this one. This is Succoth in Israel, in the land of Canaan. And this is Succoth in the land of Mizraim. This one. From here we started walking in the way to Shur, of the deserts of Shur. So we was hanging around there too. I think we went down there also, down here also. But anyway, going on. About to say something. Okay. And a mixed multitude went up also with them. From where? Mizraim. Those Mizraimites came up with us, and flocks and herds and very much cattle. Leviticus chapter 24, verse 10. Just to show you that there were Mizraimites, Mizraim in the midst of us. Leviticus 24 and 10. And the son of an Israelite woman, whose father was an Hamite, and Mizraim, an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel. And this son of the Israelitish woman, and the man of Israel strove together in the camp. Probably was talking about, my God's better than yours, because they was worshiping Baal in Egypt, and you can find that here. That's why they have names like Baal Gath, and that's Lebanon, by the way, and Baal Berith and all that type of crazy stuff. They had all these names. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelled shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan whither I bring you shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 1. Again. And thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel. Who were they? Well, at this time, it was not the Kenites. It was them, the Hamites, that was in the midst of us also. Because sometimes we would take wives from them and do, make babies. For example. Right, so I grabbed a few random pictures of the Hamite and heathen nations and stuff like that. They're women. I just grabbed a few pictures, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was actually looking for this Hamite, of course. I was looking for this one actually. This one, and this one, and this one is then an Arab. You got them Hamites over here. What is this? I think this is Cush. This is Cush. This is Cush. I'm not sure what this is. This is some Hamite thing. This is, I don't know what it is. I think it's an Israelite from West Africa. This is, I don't know. This is of course Elam. But the point is that, where's this one? This one. Her hair is, she looked like somebody from South America actually. Faces like this are in South America. But she's from, because her hair is not, she straightened her hair, so that means her hair is normally like this, but you can see that it's burned because she wants straightened hair and stuff like that. Anyway, so what we would do is, what do you think we were doing with women like that? Play PlayStation? or do a boxing match or something like that? Wrestle? A different type of wrestle. Not the WWF. Anyways, then we go on. Now we had them in the midst of us. But going on. For Leviticus 20 and 2. Thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourn in Israel. And you also had Israelite foreigners that was also called strangers and sojourners. So it's 3 type of strangers, actually 4. First and foremost, you had the heathen nations that we was cool with, like the Kenites, and in this case the Hamites, that was the Mizraim was in the midst of us too. And also we had the Canaanites in the midst of us, which was Gibeonites. The Gibeonites were also in the midst of us also. Two. Yeah, that one. Which is mentioned in the book of Joshua. And you also had the Rachabites, which I already said, which is the Medianites. So which are the Kenites. Yeah, the name changing thing is kind of messed up, but you're gonna understand it, Yaharatazai, especially if you read the book of Numbers. You're gonna see it like, whoa, that's a lot of names, man. I'm not gonna remember all that. It's too many. Well, yeah. Why don't they all just call themselves Judites? Why you gotta call yourself Hebronites and Hebrites and this diet and did what? Yeah, because yeah, I don't know. It makes sense. It makes sense. But nowadays, how we are so fast forward and we are detached from our heritage, we wouldn't understand. But through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, He's gonna make you understand. He's gonna make you understand. Right? That giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. So if a Kenite did it and he's in the midst of us, he's sojourning in the midst of us, he's be put to death right away. If a Mizraimite or a Gibeonite did it, kill him right away. That's what it's talking about. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. Okay, cool, okay. So, okay, that part. And there was, you can read these 2 chapters for yourself if you have the time for it, Leviticus 18, which is what the people were doing in those lands. The people of Egypt and the people of Canaan were doing those things. And also the people of Egypt and Canaan were doing those things. And if any of the strangers that sojourn among us was doing those things, you kill them. But you also, you had 4 strangers. Now, wait, you had 1 stranger that was a heathen nation in the midst of us. That's 1. Then you had the other stranger, which was an Israelite foreigner. He lived among them and then came back, doesn't really know the customs of the people because he'd been there for three generations, 400 years or something like that, or maybe 50 to 100 years, and they lost the customs and stuff like that. But they came back to us, just like in the time of when Yahushua came. He was the one that was gathering the Israelites scattered abroad, which were acting and living as heathens. And some of them knew that they were Israelites, which was even worse. But they was teaching the people garbage. Which, for example, you had that witch Negro, that bastard. He was a witch. And he was putting spells on the people. His name was Simon, if I'm correct. Simon. And Paul basically stopped his nonsense. False prophet Simon, maybe. What's his name? Simon? Yeah, Simon. His name is Simon. Acts chapter 8. He was an Israelite, but he was a demon. Chapter 8, verse what? Acts chapter 8. What's his name? There was a certain man, Simon, and he was from Judah, if I'm correct. No, wasn't it this one? What did I just have then? Oh, let me see. Shit. Acts 8, 9. Acts 8, 9. Is that it? Let me see. Yeah, here. Sorcery. He was doing sorcery. Why didn't I color it? He was a sorcerer. Bewitched the people of Samaria. Anyway, so there was one that was named a Judite, and he was doing wicked stuff too. But I think it's him then. I don't know. Maybe in another chapter. I don't know. Then it says he was from Judah. Simon from Judah. Let me see Simon. No, Simon the Canaanite. That's Israel. He's an Israelite. Let me double check that right. Yeah, Simon the Canaanite. No, this is an Israelite. He was called a Canaanite, but he's an Israelite. See, that's also one of the things of the old ways. You would call a person after, sometimes after a region or after the people that they're hanging with, or maybe their mother's side. Because there was multiple Simons, we all had the same name. That's why when John was born, here I think, no, I think it was in Luke. Luke 1 and what? One and 60. Why is it taking so long, bro? Very irritating. 1 and 60. Here, 1 and 60. Luke 1 verse 60. And his mother answered and said, not so, but he shall be called John. Because they wanted to call him, well, let me see something. They called him Zacharias after his father. They wanted to call him Zechariah, which was a typical Hebrew name. And his mother answered and said, not so, but he shall be called John, which is Yachanan in the Hebrew. And they said unto her, there is none of thy kindred that is called by this name. This is how you're so confused. Like, what? You know how many Calebs there are? There's another Caleb, but he has another wife. Therefore, you would know, oh, that's not that Caleb. But then again, the other Caleb also had other wives. So you don't know. But you're going to know, because you're going to find out. If you read, then you'll be like, oh, this is this Caleb. Oh, that's not talking about him. It's talking about him. That's how it's hard, because they always use the same names. Some of the Israelites were actually called Canaan. Yeah, man. They was calling him Canaan too. You know, son of Judah, son of Canaan, or something. That's, you know. Yeah, sorry, Canaan, son of Judah. You know, that's what I mean, actually. Canaan, son of Judah. And stuff like that. They was calling themselves those names. Some of them had Assyrian names. Like you have Israelites that was called Aram also. Yeah, man, it's crazy. But with John, there's no there's no mistaking. He's the only one that's called that way. That's why it's so easy to remember his stuff. Well, his name, not his stuff, actually, his name. Yachanan, John is the only one. He's the only one. You will find that in the Old Testament. You're not gonna find it. You might find it, but then in another. Well, I don't know if you're going to find it. You're not going to find it. But if it is there, then it would be in a different way. Because the Hebrew of it is Yachanan. But, like I said, is a unique name. And it's probably going to be written much more different and therefore pronounced different. But anyway, I just read it here, what it says. So let me leave it at that. Right. So, there's a lot of names that might make you second guess who it is or who it is talking about sometimes. A lot of times, actually. Okay, so enough of this. You had heathen nations in the midst of us hanging around and doing stuff with us, and we would make each other with them also. Okay, so Leviticus chapter 24 verse, I'll jump straight to the point, which is he blasphemed. Well, let me just read it then. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of Yahweh and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Dibri, of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in the ward, they locked him up, that the mind of Yahweh might be shown them. Right, so they was inquiring, well, what should we do with him? And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that cursed without the camp, so outside of the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. So they killed him. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curseth his power, Yahweh, shall bear his sin. This is going to be your own fault. And cursing is putting a hex on someone. So he wanted to curse the Most High. He didn't say F or a bitch, which is a dog, or pussy, which is a vagina, or dickhead, which is a penis. Those are not curse words. Those are cuss words. Okay, but you can say it decent. You can say, hey, she's bleeding out the vagina today, or you can say he's bleeding out the pussy. But the other one is a little bit harder than the other one. You see? Or you can say like, hey man, why don't you eat some feces or something like that? Or why don't you go eat some dung? Huh? How about that? It's not that harsh compared to if you put the shit. That's a little bit harder, you know? See? I didn't curse. I cussed you. If I say goddamn you, I cursed you. You know, but yeah. Sometimes people say it without realizing, me too, not all the time, but you know, I don't swear. I don't make mistakes with that one. I don't swear. Because I don't know. My mind, it's like it's trained not to say that. So I don't. I just don't say it. I'm not going to say it, something like that. I might say some stupid stuff like, oh, damn. But I didn't. It's, you know, you might say goddamn, but yeah. Right. You're condemning someone if you actually do that. So yeah. Right. So going on. Now it says here, and yeah, Moses, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he that blasphemed the name of Yahweh shall surely be put to death. Okay, cool. I don't have to read that. So you know that they came along with us. A mixed multitude went along with us, as you can see here. Right. Genesis chapter 17, verse 9. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, be therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between which is between me and you, betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation, of your seed, of your bloodline. He that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. So this clearly shows you that, so before he even was a nation, the Heavenly Father already told him, like, listen, if there are children among your seed, which is the Israelites, which are not of your seed, let them also be circumcised. So now therefore you can imagine that the Kenites that was living among us, they were circumcised. They had to, or else they couldn't be living among us. Especially if we bought them as slaves, perpetual servants. It's like this guy, Alfred from the Waynes. No, not Waynes. No, Bruce Wayne. No, you spell it like this. Alfred, right? Now, what is Alfred? Alfred is a genuine example of what I'm about to give as an example. Alfred was, remember this one, Michael Keaton. Alfred was actually the one that was taking care of Bruce Wayne when he was younger. This is his butler. But this is a perpetual servant. These type of things we used to do back in the days. Now, Alfred, when he got old, he was still taking care of Bruce. But now, a little loose from the movie, Alfred was supposed to, let me see, mansion. Here. Alfred was supposed to stay in this mansion, and then he was supposed to get children, and then live in one of these rooms in the mansion. Right? I know this is not the Bruce Banner thing, the man behind the bat. I know this is not his house, but he's a cartoon character. So, but he was based on the Rothschild, by the way. Bruce, Batman. Yeah, I saw that. But then that's a whole other story, by the way. But anyway, so Alfred was supposed to make children, And then those children would be perpetual slaves for the children of Bruce Wayne. And then they would serve him. He would be a servant forever, and he would be a master forever. And believe me, he would be living a better life than the rest of the other people. Why? First and foremost, he's living in a mansion. He has all the money and riches of him that he can spend, and he wouldn't lack anything. That's one. Second, when you here, supermarket job people, he is also a servant, and he will do this perpetually for the rest of his life. So why not work for a billionaire and be in his house and just do the job, and have your children and stuff like that? You might think it's far-fetched, like, hey, man, I don't want to be a slave. You are a slave. You're working, ain't you? Yeah, but I'll do it just 9 to 5. And that's why you got to pay rent. That's why you got to do this. That's why you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? But here, you ain't got to do anything. All you need to do is serve him. It's not that hard. I mean, this old guy could do it. I'm telling y'all future, what's going to happen to you in the future. Because Lord willing, we're going to have the Kenites back again. But that's up to the Lord. I don't know about that. I do know that the Lord made a covenant with them, with the Kenites. So I'll show you that too later on. Anyway, go back to here. So basically, that scenario what I just gave you, that is what it was supposed to be, actually happen. But that's going to happen with us, because I'm going to explain it to you right here. I'm going to read it for you. Right. So Genesis chapter 17 verse 12. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed, he also needs to be circumcised, right? He that is born in thine house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Right. So they're not going to be partakers of the holiness. I'll read that also for you. Which is, where did I put that one? I didn't put that one. Oh, yeah, I didn't put it. It was actually supposed to be here. It didn't click. It didn't click. Oh, it was supposed to be here. This one. Oh, I thought so. Huh? It was actually supposed to be here. So actually, after this one, I should have read this one. Damn. Anyway, it's good. I still got it, guys. Still got it, Lord willing. Didn't forget it. I just didn't click on it. Good. I didn't type it in good. But anyway, so it says here, now actually after this one, I was supposed to read this one to make it clear. Now, you had the mixed multitude. Well, let me read this one again. Exodus chapter 12, verse... Well, I'll just read 38. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, with the Israelites, when they came out of Egypt, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. And then I jump to verse 43 of the same chapter. So I just read 38, and then I'm going to jump to 43. And Yahweh said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. What stranger? Of the mixed multitude. And nowadays of the heathen nations, those days also, because it's a stranger. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. But the stranger is not allowed to eat, right? But it goes on. A foreigner and an hired servant shall not eat thereof. These are the people of the heathen nations, and these are the people of the heathen nations, right? But you also had Hebrew servants that we made each other. They were allowed to eat when they were circumcised. Going on. Or else it would be a contradiction. So it says 46. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abroad or out of the house. Neither shall ye break a bone thereof. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. 100% of the Israelites need to keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. This is talking about the Israelites, foreigner, who are lacking inheritance, even though they are of the seed of Abraham. They are the only ones that are allowed to eat of the Passover. But the stranger that is of another nation is not allowed to eat. Now, if you look up this word stranger and you look up this word stranger in the Hebrew, it's going to explain to you that it's not the same word. So therefore, we know what we're talking about when we read it. Oh, no, it's Exodus. Exodus chapter 12, verse 43. Now it says here. Was it 43? Yeah. Now it says here, and Yahweh said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover, there shall no stranger eat thereof. Now check this out. This is one word, which is Yahweh. This is one word. 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 Now here comes it. There shall no stranger, 2 words. So what is that? This one is son, and this one is nakar. Here. Ban, which is son, is not a plural, because nowadays they say, hey guys, let's go. Right, stuff like that. Yeah. They mean boys and girls. Yeah, that's not the way. This is caucus. This is caucus tongue, and we don't do that. These are men and only men, because the Hebrew doesn't have the word children. It doesn't exist. That's why every time it says the children of Israel, it says the sons of Israel. 100%. There's no such thing as children in that language. There's only boys and girls and men and women. Only that. Not a caucus thing. Why do? See, guys, isn't a gendered word anymore. It's fine to use with, for example, if you have a group of children. Come on, guys, let's go. You know how the cave chicks talk, right? Addressing a group of people as guys isn't gender inclusive. See, they're the ones that are creating this shit. It is shit. I never say that. Let's go, guys. You sound suspect when you even say it like that. Hey guys, let's go. Come on, guys, let's go. That's what they always say to these little group of kids. Then they would call them guys. Look at little Jake over here. What's up, little man? Right. So they would call this group of children guys. Sorry, they would call them guys. But that's nonsense. So this does not exist. This is a caucus interpretation or input. It's only men. Sons of Israel. Sons as in people, but of a nation. Who makes the nation? The men. The men make a nation. Okay. That's why the tribe of Benjamin had to go rape women, and then they created grew the tribe of Benjamin again. That's in the book of Judges 23 or something like that. They had to rape them. And because the men make a nation. A woman, she receives a nation when she spreads her legs and takes on the seed of another man, his family, and his family, and his family, forefathers and stuff like that. That's why the seed goes to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and not through any woman in existence. I don't even have to name names. Right. So that's false. Okay. So now, okay. Oh yeah. Well, sorry. So that's son. This is son. The Hebrew 11:21 is son, and this one is Hebrew 52:36. which is nakar, which is foreigner and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Okay. Now jumping on, it says here, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and keep the Passover of Yahweh. What stranger is that? Hebrews 16:16. So this stranger is Hebrew 52:36, and this stranger is Hebrews 16:16, which is God. And who is God? God comes from Gershom, which is the son of Moses. Why? Because it says here, check this out real good. Exodus 2:22. And she bare him a son, and he, Moses, called his name Gershom. Why did he call him that? For he said, this is the reason, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Now you can read the chapter for yourself if you have the time. This is talking about Moses when he got one of the daughters of Raguel, and Jethro. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Jethro is the same man too. I'll get to that later. Yeah, I can get it right now before I forget it. Sorry, I forgot. Exodus chapter 18 verse. So here's Jethro. And here it says that Jethro, verse 27, and Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. So Jethro went back. But who stayed? Who stayed? Well, Numbers 10 and Judges 4:11. Numbers 10:29. Actually, I don't have to read that. I'll just go to the point. And Numbers 10:31. So Hobab wanted to go. The son of Raguel wanted to go. And oh yeah, that's also how you could see that. That's what I was getting to. That's also how you could see that this is not his father-in-law, because Hobab stayed, and he said, leave us not, I pray thee. For as much as thou knowest how we are to camp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be with us instead of eyes. Basically, you know the land better, the layouts, you can help us. And then Hobab stayed. Okay, and then Judges chapter 4 verse 11, the son of Hobab, the children of Hobab, Heber the Kenite, one of the children of Hobab. It doesn't mention how many children he had, but it says one of the, which was the son of Hobab. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the sons of Hobab, because he had multiple children, multiple sons. It says here that he's the father-in-law. No, he is the brother-in-law. Why? Because Jethro left. Where is that? Where did I put it? Did I click it away? I clicked it away. Yeah, here. Exodus 18. Jethro, his father-in-law, left. But Hobab, he stayed. Hobab stayed, and therefore later on in time, Heber stayed. Right? And he's different from the Hebrites, which is from Judah. Asher. What was it again? Asher or Judah, one of those two. Yeah, one of those two. Right, so, okay. Oh yeah, shit, sorry. What did I just have? Oh, yeah. Right, so this Gar. Oh yeah, the Gershom thing. Gershom 2:22, and he said, I have been a stranger in the strange land. So if you look up that word stranger, let me see something here. Exo 22. No. Actually, it's 2 and 22. Okay, see, the word stranger is here, but how do you spell it? In a strange, like a look. And she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom. So what is Gershom? Gershom is spelled God Sham. God is then that stranger, and Sham is name. So God Sham, stranger, the name of a stranger, foreigner. So he called his son a foreigner. Why? See here? For he because for he said because that's what it means. That's what it means. For he said. So because I have been a stranger, foreigner, in a strange land. So what does that mean? He said, right here, sorry. He said, I have been a God in a Nakar land. So he was talking about himself when he named his son, and then he named his son stranger in a stranger land, because I got you there. So now all the Israelite foreigners that are begotten in another land are God. But the heathen nations, they will always stay Nakar. But in the book of Jeremiah chapter 2, and also in the book of Isaiah 56, here Jeremiah 2 and Isaiah 56, here the Lord will call the Israelites Nakar, because we acted like it. Let's see. Here's strange vine. Yeah, here he called this word is nakar. This word is nakar. You can look it up for yourself if you have the time. This word is nakar. He said, Jeremiah 2 and 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? How did you become a heathen? Like, how did you become a son of a strange? Like, let me show you. This word? Remember this word? Then you go here. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. And then you will see the same word here. Well, it's actually Nakariya, which is Hebrew 52:37, and this one is Hebrew 52:36. So it's Nakar Ya with the Ya at the end. It's still the same thing. My stranger, actually, it would say then, therefore. Right. So, metaphorically, new, unheard of. And that's exactly what our people turn into. They probably, not probably, they just like how we don't know the Most High. Did you know it 20 years ago? Did you know that you was an Israelite? You see what I'm saying? You was a stranger unto the Lord. But now you have come back. So you are now a God. You was a Nakar, because you was most likely celebrating Christmas. Christmas. You was celebrating that. You was also celebrating bunnies that lay eggs. I bet you. If you are now in your 30s or something like that, 40s, then I think you have on Easter bunny, I think you ate eggs. Most likely you did, because your parents taught you, because they're stupid. You probably had a Christmas tree in your house too. Christmas. You probably had that in your house, and you probably wanted presents under the Christmas tree too. I think you did. So guess what? You were a heathen. Now, if the Lord was to judge us right then and there, we'd be dead. Well, we'd be dead. So that's why the Lord had mercy through Yahushai. Or else we that whooping that Yahushai got, we were supposed to get that individually. Every single individual Israelite in existence was supposed to get that beating. And you couldn't take it because you'd be dead. The Most High kept him alive. And he took that beating, because it says that no man in existence could take that. You would die. If you have too much pain, you're going to die. But the Most High didn't kill him. He didn't die. He died when he said, and it is done. And then his spirit left his body. He didn't want to do it. He prayed 3 times. Can we do this another way, Lord? Please. And it was even said when he was getting beaten, that the Lord turned his face from the beating that he was getting, because he didn't want to see it. That's how mad it was. And believe me, the Lord is so angry that he's going to exterminate the Edomites. How about that? And every nigga that hated Yahweh Shai, until this day they dying. How about that? That's the punishment that you get and your descendants. Let his blood be upon us and our children forever. Just kill him. Caesar is our God. That's why you niggas dying right about now. That's why your ass getting smoked. That's why the Most High put that spirit on you to join a gang so that you can get your bitch ass shot. Pow, 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 pow. Whole ass nigga. How about that? That's why you have that spirit. You ask yourself like, how do you think of joining a gang, man? Why would you think of shooting up crack cocaine in your arms? Why would you do that? Them demons is on you. to judge you. To make you go through some fucked up things, man. Being a junkie is a fucked up life. I'll tell you that. Have you ever seen them, man? They look like a bunch of pigeons always looking for food. But they ain't looking for food, though. They're looking for some crack, cocaine, or some other drugs. It's a fucked up life. That's what you get. That's your judgment. You want to sell the Lord out, right? Okay, cool. Here you go. Take this pain. For a long time, brother. Take this pain. Set your soul on fire. Burning. And it hurts. Every day you wake up, you're hurting. You're in hell. Now that's hell. Have you ever seen a crackhead? That's eternal fire. Have you ever seen a crackhead? That's eternal fire. Eternal is better. Eternal. Alright, it's not King James. It's a Tupac. Blasphemy. Have you ever seen a crackhead? That's eternal fire. Yeah, you in hell, boy. Always looking up for your next fix. Have you ever seen a pigeon looking around? Always when you see a pigeon walking, what's he doing? Looking for food. And that's the crackhead. The crackhead is always looking for something to smoke, looking for some money. You know, he ain't looking for food. He looking for some dope. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I think that was... Did I finish that? Okay, so this is Nakar Yah, and the other one was Nakar. Basically, we became a heathen unto the Lord, with the things that we were doing. We was heathenistic. You know, you're heathenistic if you know. Look, any other day you make an egg and then you eat it, it's nothing wrong with that. But if you on that specific day, normally you don't eat boiled eggs, but on that specific day, you literally go out your way to make eggs to boil it. You know what you are doing, right? You doing on a worship, Satan worship type tip. But it explains in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and also 1 Corinthians chapter 10 that if someone invites you to a party to go eat, you can go. But if they tell you, sit you down and tell you, hey, you know this is actually offered up to one of my gods, right? Then you don't eat it for his sake. Because everything is made from the Heavenly Father. Everything and anything in existence is of the Heavenly Father. So there are no gods. He with conscience of the idol sacrificeth it and eateth it like unto an idol that exists. For you it is sin. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Anyway, going on. Now, okay, so it says here, the stranger thing. Let him join himself? Wait, let me see. Okay, that's also here in the book of Isaiah chapter 56. That same word is here, the stranger. The son of a stranger that had joined himself unto Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. If I'm correct, it was also the word nakar there. Let me see, Isaiah 56. Isaiah 56 and 6, I think. Oh, wait, what was it? 4:3. Let me see. Yeah, the son of a stranger here. And you might say, like, wait a minute, this is talking about the heathen nations. No, this is talking about an Israelite foreigner that was a degenerate plant that turned into a heathen, and then he comes back to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. And that's why it's written that it says, Isaiah 56 and 3, neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh had utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. But it's an Israelite that was to a certain degree cut off, but now he's coming back into the fold after being like an actual heathenistic stranger. If you call yourself an African or an African American, guess what? You're a heathen. You're a heathen. If you call yourself black, you're a heathen. Black is a color. Even though they tell you that it's not. But we're not black, by the way. We're different shades of brown, but I'm still sticking up for black. Black power. No. No, man. Israelite power. But anyway, because we have different shades of brown. But yeah. So you have the Israelites that are. No. You have white is the absence of color. This has no color. Within the circle here, has no color. It's white. It doesn't have a color. Black is a color. Right? Because there's something there. You can see it. White you can't, because there's nothing there. So yeah. So sometimes you need to watch out for that word also, the nakar and the God, or sometimes it's God Yah, and yeah. So nakar, Yah, God Yah, and yeah. Dwell afraid. Okay, cool. Here, God. A temporary inhabitant, a sojourner. A temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights. That is it. A newcomer Israelite coming back into the fold. Here, a foreign in Israel, though conceded rights. What is conceded? Conceded means admit or agree that something is true at first, after first denying it or resisting it. What was happening? It was the Israelites that was calling themselves Jews that did not want to accept the Israelite foreigner Jews that was coming into the fold back again, because they was jealous. They was very jealous, by the way, because they was looking at them like, this Negro, how can he also be of the Israelites? Look at his hair. I hate this guy. I have to. I almost have to say thing to shit. I just cut myself without even freaking realizing it. But yeah, I hate this, man. I just hate it. I don't like you if you look like this, because I know you don't like me. Where is it? Here. I already put it without even here, like this shit. I don't know, man. I don't like people like this, man, because I know in my mind what you find beautiful and what you like, and I don't like that. This is a demon, But see, without without I wasn't even trying. It just automatically goes, I hate you when I see you. I just don't like it. I know what it represents. I see a fucking crack person. I see a person of crack complexion. Not crack complexion. The hair shit irritates me, man. That shit irritates me. If you take that shit off, I'm not gonna dislike you. If your hair is black, leave it. If you're born that way, that's something else. I got no problem with that. I often say that. So it's not like that with me 100%. For example, this is not. Let me see. This is not fake. I ain't got no problem with this. I ain't got no problem with this. I definitely got a problem with this. This I got a problem. This I got a problem. This I got a problem. I have no problem with this, bro. I'm telling you. I got no problem with it. Well, why would I have a problem with it? I don't have a problem with it. This I got a problem with. This shit. See? But anyway, let me just leave that. But yeah, let me go and get back to over here. So okay, the stranger. So this is a Israelite. This is a Israelite foreigner. He is allowed to eat, but only the Israelites are, because listen, you have the Kenites. They are sons of strangers. They can't eat of it. But you have other Israelites that we do buy off of our, like the Hebrew slaves, the Hebrew servants. All Israel shall keep it. Anyway, going on. Genesis 17 and 9. Yeah, I already read that. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 38. I am Yahweh your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth, by the way, this is going to talk about the slavery thing, the servant thing here. And if thy brother, but it's also mentioned in the book of Genesis here, the servants and stuff like that of Abraham going on. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, but as an hired servant, and as a sojourner. See? It says it right there. So, a foreigner and an hired servant shall not eat thereof. So this is talking about the heathen nations. But this one is an Israelite. So all the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when the stranger thou shalt sojourn with thee, here it says that, okay, check this out. Here it says a foreigner and a hired servant may not eat of the Passover meal. And here it says a stranger and a son of a stranger, it should say, shall not eat of the Passover meal. But every man's servant, Israelite man, his servant, that is brought with money, when thou hast circumcised him, if he's an Israelite, then he shall eat thereof. But it's repeated again, a foreigner and an hired servant. So wait a minute, this is a hired servant too, right? Because this one is bought with money, right? You buy him, he's your bought servant, right? That's an Israelite. The foreigner and an hired servant shall not eat of the holy meal. And the stranger is allowed to eat of the holy meal, but this stranger is not allowed to eat, and this hired and servant that you bought for with money is also not allowed to eat, but this one that you bought is allowed to eat. So this is gonna make you crazy if if you don't know the possibilities of what is possible, which is this. Leviticus chapter 25 verse 40. But if a hired servant and as a but as a hired servant, you need to keep him, not a bondsman, not a perpetual, not a real slave, you know. Read that, okay. But as a hired servant and as a sojourner, right, somebody that just comes and hangs around, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee, which is every 49 years. So let's say you bought an Hebrew servant that waxen poor dwelleth among you, if thy brother, which is your Hebrew servant. In the book of Leviticus, is another Leviticus 21? Is it? Wait, let me see something. Oh, Exodus 21. Let me see. Exodus 21. Yeah. Exodus 21. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve. 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. So that one, but every Jubilee year, after 49 years is that, then you need to let him go. Let's say you bought him, because that's also with property, because that's also explained in another chapter, which is if the year of Jubilee is near, and you're about to buy a house of an Israelite that's supposed to get it back, then you need or vegetables also, and fruit and stuff like that. If the year of Jubilee is near, then you need to lower the price. The further away from the year of Jubilee, the more you can ask him, because he's gonna not enjoy the thing, because after 3 years he has to give it back, which is if it's land or a house, he's gonna have to give it back. And that would be unfair. So you give him according to the length of time that he's able to enjoy it. So the shorter it is to the Jubilee, the less you make him pay, and that is of the Lord. That's our order, right? So if you buy your Hebrew servant, let me see, 3 years before Jubilee, then you're after the 3 years you're gonna have to let him go, right? But if it's in the midst of those years and it's long before the Jubilee would come, then you can keep him 6 years, and then the 7th you need to let him go with substances. By the way, that's how we made each other rich. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with thee, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. This is why we know that a heathen nation cannot come into our land and start taking land, because the land only belongs to the Israelites. Even though you are a sojourner in the midst of us, you will never own land. That's the law. Even another Israelite may not steal another Israelite. Let's say Simeon. Let's say Manasseh goes and lives in the midst of Simeon. Yeah, he can't take land here. He can't. He needs to go back here and take land there, because that was given unto him. He may not take this one. Never. The book of Numbers 36 explains that, and also the book of Numbers 27 explains that. He is not allowed. Alright, go back unto the... So if an Israelite is not even allowed to take land in the midst of another Israelite, how can a heathen do that? You can't, because not even an Israelite can do that. So the heathens cannot neither. Neither the ones that dwell in the midst of us. They are not appointed land. And that's going to explain in the book of Jeremiah chapter 35 later on when I read it. Now it says here, and his fathers shall... And unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy power, Yahweh. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. And who was round about us? For example, the Kenites. Another example, the Gibeonites. For example, let me see who more. Yeah, there was a few other more, but anyway, going on. The Kenites are Midianites. The Kenites are Midianites. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. So, the Kenites, for example, we may buy, but we had friendly relations with them. So, it's not gonna. It wasn't a crazy thing like how slavery was done by the Edomites, and also how the slavery is still being done by the Arab people toward the Cushite and toward the other Hamites that they have there, because the fucking Arabs are still enslaving people until this day. Some of them against their will, and some of them go and work for them because they need money, because their own country is fucked up, whereas their own government is a sellout onto Esau or onto Ishmael, and then they let the people live fucked up, starving and stuff like that. So they willingly sell themselves, but the majority of them they don't want to. Okay, you wouldn't want to do that, right? You rather go to a Caucasus land and there go work and have your money and have your freedom, and then and the people are treating them bad. We wouldn't do that, but we were not allowed to treat the Israelites with rigor, but the heathen nations, we were allowed to do that with them. But if you look at Abraham, what he wanted to give his servant, that guy would have a great life. Look at the servant of Abraham. He wasn't a slave like how the devil nation of Esau and these goddamn Israelites also do. Not like that, man. Because these Ishmaelites, they have, for example, they have these type of things. They have these type of things, but they treat the people like fucking shit, boy. Look, I don't want to talk about Arabs right now, because I'm gonna start. They're gonna flag me. Boy. So I'm not gonna talk about them right now because I'm very angry. I might not show it, but once I get that power, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do to them. You're gonna try and stop me, but you shouldn't. Just like Samson said, promise me that you won't fall upon me, because once I'm loose, I'm angry, I'm gonna get them. So don't come up for them. Don't fight for them. Just leave me be. I know why I'm angry. You should know why too. But anyway, right? Yeah. So this is a beautiful house. Oh, beautiful house. It's better than this. I hate houses with glasses and stuff. I don't like it. It's not private. This is very private. I like it. I like houses like this. It's private. It looks private. With big glass houses, I don't like that. Everybody could look in your house. No, I don't like that. More shamefully covered. Yeah, this one is good too. But anyway, they got these places and stuff like that. But they treat their servants like shit. And if you didn't know, they're very filthy. They're satanic too. So they're gonna get their ass. Let me not talk too much. They're gonna get theirs because what are they doing in the country? And by the way, those sheiks, they might be Amalekites because there's a rumor go around in the Arabian world that these rich people over there, these wealthy actually people over there, not rich, wealthy people pay rich people salaries. But yeah, so these wealthy Arabs over there are not Arabs. They're actually the House of Saudi. They're actually Amalek. That's the rumor that are going around. That's why they're killing each other like a motherfucker over there, and nobody can stop them. You can't. Go and trying to stop Satan. You're gonna see. So these are not even Ishmaelites, But anyway, I still want to get them. Doesn't matter. It don't matter. I know what they're doing. I know of their deeds. That's why they have shit sex with these Instagram models and stuff. Like crazy stuff, bro. You want to talk about it? Finna go. Just talking about it made me want to take a bath, and I don't mean in a bathtub. I mean like a shower. In a shower.